Okay. Hey, Tommy. Welcome to your interview for the Diamond Scholarship. Just to start off, will you kind of introduce yourself, kind of like your name, school, what year you are, and your major?
Okay. Hi, I'm Tommy Vo. I am a freshman at the University of Utah, and I am a business marketing major. I
Cool.
am 19 years old. That's like
Okay.
everything.
Cool. Anything else you want to share with us?
Um, it's okay. Everything's good.
Okay. So the first question of your interview is, what have you learned from being involved in your community, and how would you translate that to future generations?
I think important thing that I've witnessed over the years is how much people want to impress and like show off their community by like hosting like big events and like just showing off how much and what their community does. But I don't think that's that important because I feel like that's like trying to impress other communities by showing off yours is like not the correct way to go. I think the most important thing about a community is how genuine and like how like much fun you're having in that community with what they're doing. Like it doesn't matter how many people you have because all I see recently is like when they talk about community is how much they want to grow and improve, but like improving doesn't matter if it's not like quality improvement. So the thing I find most important is for the people you do like when you do improve and when you do like grow, do it slowly and do it like genuinely. Because I'd rather have a good like fun time with the people, even if it's a small community. I think having a small and like prosperous community is better than having like a large group of people who don't really know each other that much and like only hang out like once in a while. I'd rather have like a close knit family.
Cool. Okay, so the next question is, discuss something affecting your respective community in which you hope to promote change.
uh a thing I've seen recently in my community is that it doesn't affect the Asian community as much as other demographics like Latino or African American, but they still have the mindset, especially if depending on where you come from, like where what like where your house is, like what region you come from. Because I live in West Valley, and that in Utah at least is like the ghetto area. And even though it doesn't affect me as much as Latinos and African Americans, I still see people like Asians that are like, oh, I can't do this or that. I'm from here. I'm from West Valley. I'm too ghetto to do this. And like they give all the people from higher end places, like if, for example, like Skyline High School is one of the prep schools, like the higher end public schools in their region, and they give the people there all the flack for just going to the school. Like even I have friends that live in West Valley that go to that school, and just because they go to that school, they have like the automatic passive. Oh, now you're privileged, but I don't see it that way. Like one of my physics teachers told me this, and it like impacted me really hard. It doesn't matter where you come from. Everybody basically is the same, right? Like it doesn't matter if you're a kid from Bingham or like Brighton, so also really high end places. Hi, Steph, but it's like they know the same amount of stuff that we are. We're struggling with the same issues and we're struggling with like the same like school subjects. So it doesn't make sense that you place yourself lower than others, even though you guys are practically the same. Like for a little kid in West Valley to grow up and like find idols from his like neighborhood that have made it that far is like really inspiring for me. Because, for example, Nathan Chen, he is from West High, which is also known as one of the more ghetto areas of like Utah. He's from Salt Lake. He's like born and raised, but he is an Olympian, and that is like one of the biggest things you can do for a little kid to look up to is be an Olympian. So like things like that where you can show off your roots is really important to me, and that's what I want to show kids in that are like growing up around me and like impact them in that way.
Okay, how do you see yourself positively impacting others as a leader?
As a leader, see, I'm not the most ideal leader, I would say for the longest time, I've had this notion that I compare myself to as like it's like vines. It's like a vine, yeah. So I don't grow that strong by myself. I need a strong supporting like tree for me to grow and like wrap around. But the bigger the tree, like the better the tree, the better I am. So like the stronger the tree, the stronger my base, the more I like show up and the more I impress and the more I do stuff. But recently, I haven't had many trees, so I kind of have to build on my own. And the one thing I generally go back to for being a leader is so I'm not like the most innovative person or the most like physically active person. So I don't have these like set of skill sets that are like make me different than other people. The one thing I got going for me is my personality. So I'm just like I try to be happy and I try to bring a positive energy to the group I'm leading, and that's the only way I impact them. Like everybody has their own set of skill sets, and nobody can really do that if they're uncomfortable. So my goal as a leader is try to make everybody as comfortable as possible so they can show off their skill sets without having a fear of being laughed at, right? Because like the worst thing that happens is if you're like, I think I'm kind of okay at this, and then you try it out and then you just get knocked down for doing it. Like you want to try doing something, and even if you know you're not the best at it, you know that you'll have a good backing from your teammates and your leader. And I think that's really important as a leader to just like make sure everybody's comfortable.
Okay, sick. Okay. Describe a time or a mentor or a friend helped illuminate the power in you.
So I think this goes back to my last question with me saying I'm generally a positive person because that's the because that's like that's actually my like strength. If it was to illuminate, it'd be like back in like elementary school during the time there we were like splitting leaders for like in like groups and stuff, and it was like back third grade, and like and my peers at that time, like my little like elementary school classmates. I'm doing my interview. All right, but it was like my elementary school classmates were they actually volunteered to me to be like a leader in one of our projects because they felt comfortable with me, and I feel like that opened my eyes a lot because I realized it's like, oh man, even though I don't think I have like sets of skills that are like desirable or like people or that's like more outstanding than others, people still like admire me and want me to lead them. I think that was like really eye opening to me, and I was like, oh, so like even if you don't have outstanding skills in any particular like set of areas, it can still work out if you just like have confidence in what you do.
Okay. Okay. The final question is, what food best describes you?
Okay, according to my BuzzFeed quiz, I got sushi, and I guess that works, right? Because like, I mean, first of all, it's like Asian, and I'm Asian, so there's a plus one connection. But I also think it works out because with sushi, there's like a plethora of things you can get with, or like you can like mix and match like combinations, and it's becoming more westernized too. So there's a bunch of like different things. So it's like some of like this stuff and some of this stuff, and it's like one sushi's like one of the big things you can make fusion food with, which is like also great. But I think that's really good because I like to think of myself as somebody that takes in from my environment. So like I'll take some stuff in from like different demographics, and I'll like put it. It's like I like to think of myself as a melting pot of cultures, but like I like more focused on like with heavy focus on Asian, but like I like to take things here and there. And with sushi, they can do that. You can throw in like anything you want, and hopefully it tastes good. Like also with sushi is it's like it was like well at least currently it's known as like fancier food versus like fancier food, and I like to think that I'm quite exquisite and fancy myself. So that is good, and so I would describe myself as like a sushi roll.
All right, just typing all that down.
All right.
Cool. Do you have any questions for us then?
I think it'll be okay.
Okay, cool. Then I'm gonna go ahead and stop the broadcast. Anything else you want to add before I do so?
I'm good. I think I said everything.
Okay, cool.